What's up speeders? Welcome to the debut episode of Speeder Talk. Gue Pierre dan sebelah gue ada the man, the myth, the legend himself.
Gila.
Michael Hukai.
What's up speeders? Gimana?
So Mike, let's introduce to the audience apa itu Speeder Talks and mereka bisa expect apa dari series ini.
Oke. Well, speeders ini benar-benar series baru, kita lagi trying it out. Our first podcast series. Sebenarnya sih Speeder Talks itu kita pengen cover aspirational content. Jadi kita bakal have some really interesting guests on the show. Particularly mereka biasanya car collectors lah ya. Car collectors, but the story behind their success and their journey itu yang bakal kita omongin mostly di Speeder Talks.
Oke, so aspirational content lah ya
Aspirational
buat audience kita.
Kurang lebih gitu.
Oke, sekarang kita ada di mana nih, Mike?
Kita sekarang lagi di Regent Residences di Gatot Subroto. So it's actually a really nice apartment with 360 views of the city.
Oh, nice.
Very nice. Actually managed by Intercontinental Group. Jadi bentar lagi nanti akan ada hotel juga.
Oh, nice.
Regent Hotel bakal buka next
Jadi
door.
di atas itu residence, di bawah hotel ya?
Yes.
Cool,
Really nice view, really nice view. Gitu.
Oke, sekarang gue mau tanya, since it's the first episode,
Yes.
I want to talk to you about the beginnings of Speedcreed. Which,
The beginnings,
The
okay.
beginning ya, which I'm sure
City One.
audience baru kita mungkin nggak tahu nih Speedcreed itu apa, dari mana, tahun berapa mulainya. Coba lo kasih tahu mereka.
Oke. Speedcreed itu sebenarnya dimulainya tahun 2010. Waktu itu gue lagi kerja magang di New York. Gue habis selesai kuliah, gue sempat kerja di New York. Habis itu gue nggak kenal siapa-siapa di Indonesia. Dan waktu itu ada R35 GTR.
Oh, itu baru
Itu baru-baru
keluar ya?
Baru
keluar.
keluar.
2 tahun tuh kalau nggak salah.
Bener. Jadi pas gue udah mau balik for good itu, di sana gue mikirin how can I meet people yang punya R35 lah. Jadi gue browsing kayak forum-forum online, bukan forum kayak VW dulu, gue nyetir VW kan di US kayak VW Vortex. Iya, R35.
VW apa lo di sana?
R32.
R35 guys.
Iya bener-bener R32, R35. Abis itu akhirnya gue decide mau bikin forum. Jadi gue bikin forum, gue inget banget tuh satu malam nggak tidur kayak 11 jam untuk belajar beli hosting dan domain.
Oh, jadi lo bener-bener manually lu cari tahu
cara bikin website. Abis itu gue ke website forum lain, terus gue bikin thread baru kayak anyone from Indonesia. Abis itu gue cari-cari orang yang di Indonesia yang nyetir R35 ataupun anak-anak VW. Kalau nggak salah Jetro juga waktu itu kenalan di VW Vortex, New Fox. Tapi itu kenalannya online dulu.
Oh, jadi lo kenalannya di VW itu?
Di Vortex yang kita sempat ngobrol. Abis itu
padahal tuh di luar negeri kan?
Di luar negeri. Jadi kita sharing ngobrol. Termasuk ada beberapa owners juga. Akhirnya join dong di website. Gue baru buat, terus maka join tapi kayak nggak ada konten apa-apa kan. Akhirnya gue balik for good, ikut satu event tuh GTR bukan owners club sih, kayak GTR gathering gitulah. Dan di sana akhirnya ketemu.
Belum ada Goci tuh ya?
Belum.
Oh.
Dan di sana ketemulah owner GTR lainnya, termasuk yang akhirnya jadi partner di Speedcreed Willy. Itu waktu itu di event pertama di PS tuh kita ngumpul. And then kenal satu sama yang lain. Habis itu kita akhirnya bikin event kecil-kecilan. Habis itu kayak udahlah kita ajak yang kita kenal, konsepnya tuh kayak night run gitu. Soalnya GTR kan waktu itu kan top performance car. Jadi kita juga pengen bikinnya at least yang bisa seru lah di highway.
Bener.
Karena di US tuh stylenya bener-bener balapan di highway.
Run gitu ya.
Iya. Jadi kayak three honks gitu, pipi kalau lihat di YouTube gitu lah. Itu di US kan bener-bener straight line speed banget kan. idenya waktu pertama kali eventnya tuh was to do that di tol Jagorawi dan segala macam. Dan eventnya waktu itu apa ya? Kita ada Supra, kita ada 599, ada SL65 Black Series. Itu waktu itu teman gue ajak, bawa dong keluar. Ada GTR 2, jadi kayak 5-6 orang lah the first run kita bikin. Kita bikin lagi small group gathering, tapi kali ini pas Lebaran itu yang ngehit banget Lebaran Run tuh.
Lebaran ya?
Lebaran Run. Enggak, Lebaran itu yang later on ada yang bikin lagi, beda lagi.
Beda,
kita literally namanya Lebaran Run. Tapi yang namanya Run itu was us. Kita yang bikin kayak, morning run gitu kan. Karena waktu itu kan nggak ada mobil morning run.
Biasanya ngumpul-ngumpul doang kalau dulu kan?
Bisa ngumpul-ngumpul. Waktu itu car culture-nya lebih ke modification. Audio lu kan nggak sih? Yang kayak audio bagasi. Ya begitu-geter lampu merah gitu kayak.
Audio gitu-gitu.
Audio
gitu ya.
Dulu kayak gitu. Jadi yang speed, bener-bener testing speed tuh jarang banget. Nggak nemu lah waktu itu gua. Jadi that was the first. Tapi yang benar-benar ngedongkrak Lebaran Run banget itu dari videonya.
Oh iya benar, itu terkenal di YouTube tuh ya.
Itu gara-gara pertama kali kita upload dan di Indonesia belum ada ya video-video tahun 2010, 2011 tuh nggak ada video mobil, apalagi yang pakai GoPro. Itu GoPro 1 bro.
Iya benar.
Itu masih GoPro 1.
Benar.
Yang tebel banget, terus nggak ada screen, no nothing gitu. Lo kalau rekamnya salah udah that's it, you're done.
Tapi emang dulu tuh keren banget sih yang waktu Lebaran Run itu putih sama mobil merah kan? Mobil putih sama mobil merah.
Enggak, itu Merdeka.
Oh, Merdeka. Sorry.
Itu Merdeka 2012 itu.
Iya.
That was the first one yang rada besar. Cuman Lebaran Run was the first yang di videoin.
Berapa mobil tuh, Mike? Ingat gak?
Nggak terlalu banyak, 8 to 10 cars ya. Kita stop di The Plaza. Habis itu kita dari Peak ya kalau nggak salah. Aduh, gue udah lupa. Mulai adalah videonya. Cuman
nontonnya videonya di YouTube.
Ya di bawah. Masih ada nggak ya video? Masih ada sih.
Masih ada lah.
Iya. Abis itu ya udah, and then from there the rest is history. Sejak itu kita bikin events banyak. Merdeka Run was the first yang lumayan heboh. Kita kerja sama waktu itu masih stiker, belum ada kayak PPF gitu. Masih stiker, jadi semua mobilnya di wrap. Kita made a deal dengan Win Sticker kayaknya waktu itu. Untuk wrap the cars hitam putih, merah putih.
Iya,
itu Merdeka ya? Itu Merdeka Run.
Itu keren banget sih. Soalnya, I think itu juga pertama kali di mana ada gathering mobil untuk Merdeka kan?
Benar.
Iya.
Benar. Jadi we try to connect the concept. I mean salah satunya is like nationalistic pride gitu kan, yang bikin kita beda. Jadi walaupun mobilnya nggak ada mobil Indonesia, cuman at least kita honor the great struggles of the country. I think sampai sekarang belum ada sih mobil Indo. Ada Timor waktu itu bro, jangan salah.
Timor itu Kia. Anyway, so waktu itu since itu lo pertama kali lo bikin Speedcrete kayak gitu-gitu, was there any challenges yang lo kayak face with pas pertama kali? Kan dulu kan mungkin kalau sekarang kan kita lihat banyak ya grup mobil, klub mobil, cuman dulu kan kayaknya nggak terlalu banyak yang bisa bikin acara gede gitu kan. Nah, was there any challenges yang lo kayak wah susah banget nih, kayak misalnya izin atau apa gitu-gitu?
I mean events are challenging in general, I think ya. Kayak pasti nggak pernah tidur sih. Dan kalau the night before pasti udah mikirannya banyak kan, kurang ini, handy talkie, segala macam safety precautions-nya.
Right.
And we actually had one event, ada insiden juga yang mobilnya totaled.
Oh right. Okay.
Waktu itu sampai we had to make a statement. Jadi kita mesti develop kayak disclaimer when members join itu kayak bukan responsibility kita kalau memang
ada apa-apa ya gitu ya.
Mesti obey the rules whatever. Jadi akhirnya kita develop events-nya itu lama-lama ada sistem ya safety precautions-nya lah, ada kayak apa sih panggilannya yang di depan itu, gue lupa jadinya. Ini
kayak
sweeper, front sweeper, back sweeper, semuanya mesti ada handy talkie. Jadi kita provide HT
talkie gitu.
Ya, in case kalau ada emergency atau kayak ada route changes, Tapi as it grew lama-lama ya kita ada law enforcement yang bantu juga dengan konvoynya.
Oke.
After a while.
So regarding the cost, itu mereka lu mainly dari members atau kayak lu punya sponsor dulu?
Sponsors sih kita.
Sponsor ya?
Kita mostly dari sponsors karena memang banyak brands yang pengen target this high-end market kan. Jadi kita bikin satu sistem. One of the challenge actually, your question yang sebelumnya, challenge yang paling gede is determining siapa yang bisa join sih.
Oh right,
Yeah.
so mobilnya ya?
Mobilnya.
Nggak semua mobil soal bisa ikut.
Nggak mau, because how do we make a community yang eksklusif, tapi kayak mesti ada formulanya kan. Kalau zaman dulu kan kalau ikut klub mobil tuh kayak, ya lu mesti kenal siapa, lu mesti introduce, orangnya oke apa enggak. Jadi kita bikin sistem, point system. Dan itu kita evolve di berapa bulan itu. Kita testing gimana caranya biar ada rule yang objektif. Jadi anyone bisa join as long as you fulfill these rules. Jadi things like horsepower. Jadi ada points kayak lo di atas 500, di atas 300. You gather a certain point, and then ada rarity dari mobilnya. Kira-kira on a regular day lo bakal lihat berapa di Indonesia atau di Jakarta. Terus ada mesti dari factory itu udah mesti performance oriented.
Oh, jadi nggak bisa modified gitu
Nggak bisa modified.
Nggak bisa kayak rare cars, lu modif tuh nggak masuk ya?
Nggak bisa. Jadi waktu itu ada satu C-Class biasa, tapi dia pakai mesin LS1.
Wow.
Perfect gitu, which is like, it's a cool car. Cuman akhirnya, it doesn't pass the point system. Dan waktu itu juga, kalau semua kita base dari judgment sendiri itu kayak orang suka marah-marah gitu kan, kayak offended gitu. Kayak, lo nggak tau gue siapa? Gitu, kayak, bro, tapi this is just a point system gitu. Jadi that was the challenge akhirnya. Ya udah, and then once the point system berjalan, onboarding proses dari orang-orang yang mau join is all online. Nggak usah kayak ngobrol atau kayak di approve sama board or anything, nggak perlu.
So it's really community driven aja gitu ya?
Community driven, registration semua online, and slotsnya selalu limited kan, jadi first come first serve.
Is it membership yang lo harus bayar each year atau kayak sekali aja?
There was no membership.
Oh, there was no membership.
There was no membership. Jadi rule-nya kayak filosofinya Facebook lah ya. It's like you don't need to pay to join, tapi part of the event is what we sell to the brands gitu.
So, our last event I think was in 2016 kali ya, waktu itu kan?
Yes, yang gede banget MR15 ya, 2015.
Oh, 15.
Habis itu ada kayak Underground and like SC Blackout, kayak acara clubbing. Lo inget gak sih? Lo inget gak sih? Literally Blackout, first acara nggak inget gitu. Gila, the namesake-nya bener-bener. Habis itu ya that was last.
That was the last ya. Nah kayaknya orang-orang tuh kayaknya tuh kangen gitu. They really miss acara-acara Speed Creed yang dulu, yang OG. Orang-orang kayak dulu ada acara ini gitu. Tapi kan sekarang udah nggak ada nih, udah lama nih. What can you share to the audience? Mungkin lo punya future plans, acara or something that you plan?
Maybe before itu kita akhirnya berhenti bikin acara, there were a couple of factors. 2015 was quite tough. I think there was like an economic downturn of some sort. So the first thing that brands do in that situation is cut their sponsorship expense, right? Jadi one of the mistakes we did itu terlalu relying too much on sponsorship dari event. Instead of building the community and really building the platform ataupun any other business unit that we ran, because we ran quite a bit. Waktu itu kan ada merchandise, ada media production, ada online ads, but the events were the most lucrative ya waktu itu. Jadi when that dried up, ya udahlah kita stop dulu, kita fokus ke digital dulu. Karena event mau gede kecil pusingnya sama.
Pasti.
Mau kecil atau gede tuh kayak the same amount of headache. Jadi akhirnya we stop dulu eventnya. We still want to go back to making events, tapi maybe dari segi timingnya, maybe next year we can do it. We don't want to do it ourselves. Kita sekarang mau collaborate aja with existing brands and other communities yang bisa do it with us instead of kayak exclusive event. Soalnya kalau nggak event mobil apalagi kayak run lagi and like, you know, it's been done before. It's been done many times, dan sejak kayak kita udah berhenti bikin event tuh kayak menjamur kiri kanan. Untungnya Berdekaran masih dilanjutin dengan community lain, which is great. You know, kita left we left that legacy to be
Yeah,
continued
right.
on. I think it's something that we're proud of. Cuman in the future we want to start making events again. Maybe not so much events yang run atau
Right.
racing. Maybe kalau racing it's like legitimate racing.
Legit ya, harus legit kali ya.
Yeah.
Since sekarang juga kan banyak kamera gitu.
Exactly, udah nggak kayak dulu lah. Dulu rada wild west.
Iya.
Kalau kau nyetir di Jakarta, so it's a bit different. We want to abide by the rules and yeah. So hopefully look forward to it kalau semuanya ada events that are upcoming next year.
So, ada project lain nggak di YouTube yang mereka harus tahu?
Actually, so maybe some of the audience already knows that we do Speeder Jakarta.
Yeah.
Jadi itu kan kita basically review mobil, tapi gimana cara ngebawa mobilnya di Jakarta, which makes our reviews a bit different. Cuman nanti bakal ada another collaboration yang kita lagi working on with the quite a well-known figure.
Iya.
Jadi kita lihat nanti lah itu konsepnya kayak gimana. Maybe it's another podcast, tapi
Stay
we'll
tuned,
let you
guys.
know. Yes.
Stay tuned. So, other than Speed Creed, semua orang tahu bahwa lu punya this infamous car, the Dora M5.
Dora M5.
Is it
yeah.
Interlagos or Monaco Blue sih?
Interlagos Blue.
Interlagos Blue, oke.
So funny story about that car, itu sebenarnya mobil the first M5 yang masuk ke Indonesia.
Oh, nice.
Di tahun 2005, karena biasanya luar negeri is 2006.
Iya.
Ini yang 2005, jadi speknya benar-benar yang spek demo car. Interlagos Blue exterior, white interior, no heads-up display, but yeah.
Early banget berarti ya?
Early banget, with
Itu-
all the problems.
Oh iya, talking about problems. Gue nggak lihat mobil itu di bawah tuh, Mike.
Emang gue nggak bawa, biasanya
lo
gue
nggak
pakai
bawa ya?
bokar
Mana itu,
sehari-hari. Mobilnya lagi di bengkel, Pi.
Oke, do you have any stories about that car yang bisa di-share? Mungkin kayak memories atau apa?
Memories banyak banget in that car. Stories juga banyak banget. I mean, everyone knows the E60 M5
Yeah.
is a bit finicky. Cuman transmissionnya is also not great. SMG itu maybe not a lot of people know, itu ada 2 serial numbers sebenarnya.
Oh really?
The
Jadi
first-
ada 2 tipe gitu?
Ada 2 tipe, a newer one and an older one.
Okay.
So considering punya gua was the first batch, I got like the
Yeah.
crappier one.
Bisa ditukar nggak?
Bisa, so gue udah tuker.
Oke.
Karena waktu itu it screwed up, jadi diganti transmisinya. Habis itu the new one screwed up again, jadi gue ganti 2 kali transmission boxnya. And then yeah, all little stuff lah, small things as usual.
I could imagine Selin ngomong apa sih?
Pertama kali gue bawa tuh mobil, so I got the car 2012 ya waktu itu. Right when Speed Quit started, I think. Itu gue pikir fuel tanknya bocor. Karena gue jalan bentar banget, terus seperempat habis. Kayak gue literally mau bawa ke servis kayak, ini kenapa bocor gitu kan, bahaya banget kan, takut kebakar. Ternyata emang
Emang boros banget ya?
1:3 itu
Wow.
mesinnya.
Tapi that engine is really special kan?
It's really special dan
V10.
waktu itu it came to a point di mana I had to sell one of the cars kan. Akhirnya gue sell the R35.
Oke.
And I kept the M5 karena just the thrill of the drive is
Beda ya?
beda banget sih. I mean R35 it's fast. You're like the fastest guy on the
Yeah.
street. Cuman
Mau
dua
kemana
clutch,
gitu
lo
kan?
mau through the corner segala macam, it's perfect.
Oke.
Kalau M5 masih ada kayak finesse, kayak losing grip gitu loh, kayak
Si bener-bener engaging lah ya?
lebih engaging. And I actually like the SMG soalnya kayak
Lebih kerasa.
kerasa gearshifnya. But yeah, it's been through a lot. That car has been through a lot.
Bakalan lo jual nggak?
That's a tough one. Ada a couple of opportunities sebenarnya untuk lepas, tapi akhirnya gua nggak lepas. Kalau Selin sih bakal seneng banget sih kalau gua lepas. Sih. Dia udah nge-pitch berapa kali kayak, maybe it's time. This is the right time. Awalnya kalau gua cerita kayak, ini harga market kan sekarang lagi kayak gila banget kan. Kayak, ini temen gua baru kejual sih. Yang kayak, it's time. It's time to get an EV or something, but kayaknya susah. It's very hard for me to let go. Soalnya there's so much heritage and
Memories, yeah.
memories inside it.
Bener sih.
Yeah, good and bad.
Any new mods yang lo bakalan mau taruh when it's finally fixed?
I think kalau anak mobil nggak pernah selesai ya modifying something. It's always a work in progress. Udah berapa kali mikir kayak do you wanna supercharge it? Karena R32 waktu di US gue turbocharged. It came with its own headaches.
Nice. Tapi malah jadi nggak enak ya?
The thing is kalau lo modify like an NA car jadi kayak turbocharged,
beda sih.
it'll be faster.
Iya.
Cuman lo nggak bakal reach performance level dari mobil yang dari factory
Iya,
emang udah ada
benar.
kayak turbo and all that stuff, you know. Dan issues-nya lo bayangin sendiri S85 engine
Iya.
with a supercharger, heat soak-nya bakal kayak gimana. Sekarang aja
Right.
udah banyak issues, so yeah, I think I'll keep it as is. Gue udah ada headers, exhaust, it's good enough.
Mungkin saran gue ganti gearboxnya.
Maybe that's the next one. Manual
Jadi
swap ya.
E92 DCT.
Iya. The hard part about that is the ECU-nya.
Oke.
Yeah, the
Mau tag
computer.
lah.
Karena di code-nya susah banget. Jadi a lot of modification houses lagi coba di situ,
Oke.
tapi no one's publicly already sold it itu
Oke.
nggak bisa. Jadi emang paling gampang sih manual swap.
Manual swap. Which is, I think it's a good idea. Kayaknya harganya bakalan naik.
Kayaknya harga bakal naik dan lebih penting lagi, it's been done before di sini
Iya.
with one of the shops here.
So
Ya,
it's, you know it's
doable lah.
doable ya.
Tinggal gearbox-nya aja rada susah sekarang dicari yang manual.
Is it the same one yang sama M3 E90
Yes,
gitu?
so actually lo
oke.
beli yang E90 M3 punya
Oke.
gearbox. Kalau E60 M5 kan di US doang kan keluarnya manual.
Oh really?
ya,
Malah di US ya? Wah, interesting guys.
US.
Oke Mike, gua punya beberapa pertanyaan dari our followers di Instagram. I think gua mau kasih ke lo beberapa. The
Oke.
first one, ini dari Aji Gila. Oke.
Oke.
What was your first hard-earned car? Like you
Hard-
pay
Oh,
cash
man.
gitu. Or not cash, maksudnya duit lo sendiri kali ya?
Yeah. Waktu itu, so that was the M5 actually.
Really?
The M5, yeah. I got it at a super good deal. Gara-gara it was a friend yang lagi mau lepas.
Oke.
4.000 kilometer waktu itu super low. So yeah, it's a special car, makanya kayak gue. I think that first car yang you finally get is yang paling susah lo lepas sih. Because
Yeah,
like you
right.
went through quite a bit. to
History,
get there.
ada attachment lah, emotional
Ada
attachment lah ya.
Yeah, emotional attachment.
Oke, the second one dari Leonardo Yusnanda.
What up, Leonardo Yusnanda?
What is the most important principle in your life?
Damn, that's so deep, bro.
Big question, man.
The most important principle is to have an anchor, menurut gue.
Oke,
To have an anchor, whether it's cause kayaknya sekarang ini jadi I love these questions, guys. Karena I think sekarang there are so many changes that's happening in the
Yeah,
world,
right.
Not just like yang lo bisa lihat, tapi values, prinsip semua lagi berubah, perception.
right.
As you know, the things yang lagi the hot topics of today. I think to have an anchor yang no matter what itu bakal terus the same.
Right.
For me, it's like the Bible and
Yeah.
my belief and my religion with my wife. And I think in a relationship itu juga penting
Yeah.
banget. But that's what we want to try to teach our kids. I have 2 kids. It's something that you have to have from the get-go sih. Kalau enggak, lo bakal kebawa arus. You
Iya,
you
benar.
get lost easily.
You get
lah.
lost.
Kita aja yang udah dibilangnya sosok udah ada anchor aja, sometimes kayak gue mesti kemana ya?
Iya,
Kayak,
benar.
it's a bit difficult. So I think that's an important one for me.
It's a great one. Oke,
Udah bisa ngomong piramid sekarang kita atau?
belum ada yang nanya.
Belum
nih.
ada yang nanya kalau
Coba
ada
yang
nanya.
tanya kayak, Mike, konspirasi teori gitu. Jangan. Oke, next one ya. Gua mau ada 2 lagi nih. So, current updates on the car collection?
It's still the same.
Still the same ya?
It's still the same. If anything, I think setelah punya anak kayak priority of like increasing car collection jadi
Turun.
trumped by
Ke bawah.
like anak sekolah.
Lebih
Kayak, this
serius.
is more important, guys.
Yeah.
Kayak what's our future? But
Priorities, guys.
priorities. But I think instead of thinking about car collection, itu lebih kayak what can you do with the current cars.
Benar.
So trying to tweak it, kayak gue udah ganti velg 2 kali, you know, keeping it fresh. Because I think if the car gives you joy, ngapain lo mesti ganti?
Benar.
It's sort of like the same philosophy. If it's not broken, why change it? Right?
Yeah.
Even though my car is always broken. I just ate my own crap, bro. Dug my own grave on that one, bro.
If it's okay.
Gitu lah.
Maybe this is the last one dari Rifki Raditya. I think this is my favorite one. What do you think about the current BMW design?
Why do you think it's a good one, B? Like, please tell me. Like,
Karena I have my own personal.
what is your own personal viewpoint of the BMW designs? Please share with the audience. They want to know you too, bro. Okay. So that's the question.
Iya, ini lo yang jawab atau gue yang jawab?
Both of us can answer.
Okay.
Gue jawab dulu and then like.
Oke, gue dulu kali ya, biar lo
Ya,
seneng nih.
biar.
So I think kalau menurut gue desainnya it's very controversial menurut gue. Striking lah.
Okay.
Kalau menurut gue mereka terlalu cater to Asian markets.
Interesting. And what taste do Asian markets have, Pierre?
I don't know.
Oh,
Gue nggak terlalu ngikutin itu. Cuman kalau dari gue sih gue nggak terlalu suka.
okay.
I prefer the classic BMW design kayak yang zaman-zamannya seri F, seri E aja tuh kadang masih ada yang aneh menurut gue.
Yeah.
Zamannya Chris Bangle, Your Car.
Although
Tuh kan beda
technically it
banget.
wasn't Chris Bangle who designed it, but
He was the head of designer. Oke.
yeah.
Terus kalau sekarang kan beda banget ya.
Yeah.
Ada kayak iX, ada XM, which is good for sales I think karena apparently laku banget gitu. Cuman mungkin untuk diehard car enthusiast kayak terlalu beda banget nih gitu. So what do you think about it?
I think BMW is known to be ahead of its time in terms of design. Jadi yang, for example ya, waktu kita lihat the new M3 and the new M4, like everyone's like, oh my god, the grill, like it's a grill with a car, not a car with a grill,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
like everyone is. But after a while, kayak lama-lama kayak it grows on me, you know, it grew on me after a while. It's like, okay, this actually looks good in gray, or this actually looks good in whatever. So I don't want to throw judgment too quickly. Although menurut gua emang, I think the XM is a bit extreme in terms of design,
Right.
The design lines, and the new EVs juga yang lagi keluar. I mean, it has to be modern in some way. But even the E60, no one liked the car when it came out.
Yeah, true.
You know, so sekarang lihatnya, oh my gosh, it was ahead of its time. It's so modern. Sekarang masih okay, but it was like, 15 years ago.
Yeah, it was like, wah jelek banget dari E39, right? Sebelumnya.
Yeah, E39 kan very classic.
Gitu, classic boxy style gitu-gitu kan.
Yes, which I think juga classic. After a while, it gets outdated very quickly,
Iya,
right?
benar.
Kayak for example, the new M2, at first I thought it was like hideous, tapi even now kayak, it actually looks not bad. It doesn't look bad, you know. It actually looks pretty good. Apalagi kayak the width of the car lebar banget. Just looks with the right
So dia
modifications.
muscly gitu kan kayaknya.
Yeah, kayak bulldog, kayak gede banget gitu. Kind of cool. So that's my view. I think BMW is just ahead of its time with its designs. So I'd rather not pass judgment too quickly. Safe answer, right?
Safe answer.
Masih mau kerja sama BMW.
Okay.
Oh, there's one about roasting risers.
Do you want to talk about that?
No, satu lagi.
Apa?
So what is a riser, P?
I'm not sure. I think it originally started di Amerika.
Yeah.
Karena di sana kan ada yang namanya imports.
Yes.
Nah, ada local which is kayak muscle car dari US, ada juga imports. Itu bisa, I think European juga masuknya imports kan?
Yeah, not really.
Not
Imports
really,
being
ya. Imports
referring
lebih
ke
Asian, ya?
Japanese.
Japanese.
Domestic market.
Nah, emang rata-rata tuh kalau yang modifikasi mobil Asia tuh kayak knalpotnya gede, stylenya agak-agak yang ceper mampus gitu kan. Terus mereka terkenal dengan small engine, big sound. Kayak what gitu.
Okay.
And then mereka call it risers as in racer maksudnya sih. Cuman kan Jepang kan nasi kan, jadinya ricers.
So
gitu.
racist, bro.
Makanya a
but,
bit racist.
Racist or racist? No.
Lu mau roast mereka?
Enggak, no, I don't want to roast them, but
Iyalah.
it's interesting because that term evolved juga to kayak, for example, lo nyetir 3 series biasa, tapi lo ada M badge, lo taruh kayak
Oh,
M3
sekarang malah
badge.
kayak gitu ya?
Yeah, so it's like oh, you want to be something you're actually not.
Right.
So itu juga kayak expand to like Ricer. Waktu itu kayak ada Indo Ricer Instagram
Ada,
account nggak sih,
benar.
kayak started busting like
Kayak
angkot pakai M3 gitu.
Iya.
Iya. But
Banyak tuh. Especially kalau gue lihat European car malah lebih banyak. Karena kayak misalnya let's say lu punya Mercy apa, ditempel aja.
AMG.
Kayak AMG whatever gitu.
But then Mercedes picked up on it sekarang.
Iya.
Langsung kayak AMG, habis itu keluar AMG.
Iya.
They made it lucrative for themselves.
Makanya mereka kayak taruh aja lah
Udah
udah
taruh
lah.
aja lah,
I think
jual.
people liked it. Gitu kan, mungkin.
Put the badge for a
You put
few
the badge,
$1,000.
iya. So I think, tapi menurut gue sekarang mereka orang-orang lebih nggak terlalu ngomongin racers kali ya.
Yeah, you don't hear it as. I don't
Iya, kayaknya sekarang lebih kayak bisa appreciate taste orang-orang gitu kali ya.
know. Yeah. I think definitely taste juga evolved ya throughout
Iya.
the years, especially the last 10
Spinners
years.
udah nggak ada sih, spinners gitu kan. Remember spinners guys?
Bro, yang terakhir yang Rolls Royce Spectre aja peleknya 22.
Iya.
23.
23.
Stock.
Bener.
It's like
Tapi mobil modern tuh velgnya gede-gede.
iya.
Mobil zaman dulu velgnya kecil-kecil.
Kecil, ya.
Kayak E30
Iya.
BMW itu velgnya 16 aja udah
16,
gede.
right? Iya.
Sekarang 16 itu tuh botol.
Iya bener. 23, crazy.
So, oke,
Anyway.
Mike, thanks for your time.
Thank you,
Udah
babe.
bisa ngobrol sama audience, sama gua. Yang udah ngasih tahu Speedcrit itu apa, inner workingsnya kayak gimana. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you in the next episode of Speeder Talks.
Yes.
Thank
And
you to
special
Mike.
thanks to Region
Oh yeah,
Residences
special thanks to Region.
for hosting us. 360 view of the city.
360.
So yeah, stay tuned, guys. Hopefully the next podcast will have an actual guest, bukan kita.
Not me.
This is no, we'll still get you back. Don't worry.
Oh no.
So stay tuned on who that person is. He or she is
Yeah.
definitely going to be an interesting person to chat with. So
Stay tuned.
stay tuned. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe.
Like,
Notifications on.
notification. Share this to your WhatsApp group family, whatever. Tiap pagi kirim aja kayak, guys, ini ada video Speedcrit.
Family group, really?
Ya, family group.
Alright. Yeah. Okay.
Oke, komen
great.
di bawah
Thank you.
mau siapa guestnya, jangan lupa.
Ya, menurut kalian kalau ada
Yeah.
guest yang menarik, please
Interesting guy.
comment below
Or girl.
and we'll try to contact them.
Ya,
Thank you, Speeders.
bye-bye.